The deeper pattern, a structural systemic entanglement of corruption, predation, and narrative inversion, so embedded in culture and economy that even so-called enemies of the system are functionally part of it. Here's a further pattern exposure, mapped in terms of tribal zones, criminal normalization, and institutional perversion. The zonal functionality of perversion. Power is not only held at the top, it is diffused and delegated down to the street level. 1. Crime as class function. Drug dealers, pimps, and predators aren't outliers. They are part of a shadow economy that regulates despair, monetizes collapse, distracts the disempowered with micro-sovereignty. I run my block. In failing zones, crime is not pathology. It's job creation. It provides control, local authority, currency, cash flow where there is none, identity, ritualized status and myth, structure, tribal bonding through trauma and survival. Perverts as patriarchs. Abusers in power structures, from gangs to governments, are rarely anomalies. They are often essential enforcers. They help maintain loyalty through terror, solidify hierarchies, and bind communities through shared silence. When abuse is normalized, silence is moralized. 2. Institutional mirrors. Outsider equals target, even in zones where people claim to hate the system. The same logic is repeated. Conform or be attacked. Join a tribe or be scapegoated. Display status or be invisible. Thus, enemies of your enemies are still your enemies because they recognize only their own logic of strength, loyalty, or submission. The same patterns recur. Bullying, exploitation, nepotism, demonization of the vulnerable outsider. Caves, castles, and ghettos all reproduce the same basic software. The Sawney Bean pattern, cannibal economy. The tale of the Sawney Bean clan, a mythical Scottish incestuous cannibal tribe, isn't just folklore. It's a metaphor for how deviant systems thrive in isolation. They form alternate moralities with internal rules. What they do is horrific to outsiders, but normalized and even sanctified within. Their exposure leads not to introspection, but to ritual scapegoating or collapse under external scrutiny. But the powers that expose them, state, monarchy, military, have their own brutality. They burn witches, they colonize, they censor, and disappear inconvenient voices. 2 devils in a duel. Civilization versus barbarism. Both functional, both perverse. Chaka V. Psychosocial disease. Functional insanity. 1. Mental illness becomes architecture. Hypernarcissism is not punished, it's rewarded with likes. Delusion is monetized in wellness grifts, guru circuits, and identity extremisms. Paranoia is distributed via conspiracy media, true crime fetishes, and institutional gaslighting. In such a world, the only sane person is the one who appears broken. 2. Society manufactures psychosis. Children are raised on contradictory media signals. Schools produce obedience, not insight. Family systems reproduce trauma, normalized as tradition. Institutions speak inclusion and practice erasure. Madness becomes a career path. Depravity becomes content. The functionality of death cults. From TikTok to Wall Street, everything feeds a death economy. Weapons, drugs, trafficking, emotional extraction, climate collapse denial. The zombie is not a metaphor. It is the baseline consumer model citizen. They eat without digesting, perform without thinking, obey without reflection, hate without cause. Their only drive is to convert others to their zombified state, not through logic, but through sheer mass, noise, and mimicry. And institutions reward it because it maintains the feed. The outsider's position. Exile from all zones. If you're not tribal, you're untrustworthy. If you're not compliant, you're dangerous. If you're too intelligent, you're arrogant. If you expose patterns, you're silenced. You are written out because your very presence exposes the fraud. The outsider is not just excluded. They are punished for not participating in the delusion. They make visible what no one wants to see, that this isn't just a broken system. It is a machine made of bones and wires and lies wearing empathy as a mask.